check your pennies closely, because the 1972, 1998, and 2004 Lincoln cents could be worth far more than 1 cent. From the famous 1972 double die to rare errors in the late 1990s and 2000s, these coins are highly collectible. Some have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Don't spend them without checking. You might be holding treasure. The 1972 1-cent penny might look like just another Lincoln cent to the average person. But to coin collectors and enthusiasts, it holds a special place in the world of U.S. coinage thanks to one of the most famous and valuable minting errors ever discovered. This is the double die obverse error, a dramatic misalignment in the die that creates a striking doubled image on the coin's design. While millions of ordinary 1972 pennies were minted and circulated in pockets, jars, and cash registers across America, only a fraction carry this unique error, and those few pieces have become treasures worth hundreds, thousands, and in some cases tens of thousands of dollars. The Lincoln cent series itself dates back to 1909, when it replaced the Indian head cent designed by Victor David Brenner. The Lincoln penny was the first regular U.S. coin to feature the image of a real person. The obverse displays Abraham Lincoln's profile, while the reverse, in 1972, still featured the memorial design created by Frank Gasparo. This reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., along with the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, United States of America, and 1 cent. By 1972, Lincoln cents were struck by the billions at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. Most of these coins were produced with little to distinguish them from one another, but the double die obverse error from Philadelphia quickly rose to fame among collectors because of its dramatic appearance and rarity. The error itself is easy to identify. On the 1972 double die obverse, strong doubling can be seen on the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1972. Unlike many minor double dies where the effect is subtle, this one is bold and unmistakable even to the naked eye. It is this clarity and visibility that has made the 1972 double die obverse one of the most desirable modern error coins in the entire Lincoln cent series. What makes double die errors so fascinating is how they occur. A double die happens not during the striking of the coin, but during the hubbing process when the working die is created. If the die receives more than one impression from the hub that is slightly misaligned, the resulting die will transfer a doubled image onto every coin it strikes. That means that all genuine 1972 double die cents share the exact same doubling pattern, unlike machine doubling which happens during the striking process and produces less valuable coins. Values for the 1972 double die obverse Lincoln cent can vary widely depending on condition. A circulated example might bring $150 to $300, while uncirculated specimens can easily reach into the thousands. High-grade examples certified by PCGS or NGC have sold for $10,000 or more. In fact, pristine mint state coins with blazing luster and minimal contact marks are among the most coveted pieces in Lincoln cent collecting. Auction houses such as Heritage Auctions have recorded sales exceeding $12,000 for these gems. Beyond the famous double die obverse, other errors from 1972 pennies also command attention. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets are sought after by error collectors. A penny struck 40% off-center with a visible date can bring hundreds of dollars, while wrong planchet errors, such as a 1972 cent struck on a dime or foreign planchet, are extremely rare and can sell for thousands when authenticated. Even within the double die category, 1972 has multiple varieties. While the primary double die obverse, known as DDO001, is the most dramatic and valuable, there are several other minor double die varieties from the same year that collectors recognize. These less dramatic varieties may sell for $20 to $50 in circulated condition, offering more affordable entry points for new collectors while still adding historical and collectible value. What makes the 1972 double die even more exciting is its place in the larger story of double dies in U.S. coinage. It followed the legendary 1955 double die cent, which remains one of the most famous error coins ever discovered. While the 1955 cents doubling was so dramatic that it made national headlines, the 1972 double die carried forward that legacy, cementing double dies as one of the most desirable error types among U.S. coin collectors. Collectors also prize examples of the 1972 double die cent with special eye appeal. Coins with rainbow toning, brilliant red luster, or sharp strikes with full details can fetch premiums far above the typical price range. Combined with high grades from top-tier grading services, these features can push prices into record territory. Auction stories add to the allure of the 1972 penny. For instance, one particularly stunning example graded MS67 Red by PCGS sold for nearly $15,000, capturing attention across the numismatic community. Another coin, though not in as high a grade but still displaying the bold doubling clearly, sold for over $5,000, proving that even mid-grade examples can achieve significant values when the doubling is dramatic. The lesson here is clear. A coin that was once worth just a penny can, through a rare error and the passage of time, become a treasure worth thousands. Collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents know the thrill of finding these rarities, and many still dream of discovering one in an old roll of pennies or a forgotten jar of change. The 1972 double die obverse is not just a coin. It is a reminder of the unpredictability of minting, the fascination with error coins, and the excitement of numismatic discovery. It also shows how collectors and the general public alike can fall in love with a coin that stands out from the ordinary. So, if you ever come across a 1972 Lincoln penny, don't just glance at the date and toss it aside. Look closely at Liberty, at In God We Trust, and at the numerals of 1972. If you see clear, strong doubling, you may be holding one of the most famous and valuable error coins of the modern era. While most 1972 cents are worth only face value, the rare double die obverse and other dramatic errors can transform that humble penny into a collector's treasure worth hundreds, thousands, or even more depending on condition. The 1998 Lincoln cent is one of those coins that, at first glance, looks like just another ordinary penny you'd find in your pocket change. Billions were minted, and most of them circulated heavily, so to the average person, it seems like there could be nothing special about it. But in the fascinating world of coin collecting, especially when errors come into play, even a common year like 1998 can transform into a hidden treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the type of mistake and its condition. The Lincoln cent design used in 1998 was part of the long-running Memorial Reverse series, which had been in place since 1959. On the obverse is the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, first introduced in 1909. By 1998, the portrait had become one of the most recognized images on American coinage. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, with the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, United States of America, and 1 cent. Although most people know this design well, the real excitement around 1998 cents lies in the unusual errors that came from the minting process that year. In 1998, Lincoln cents were produced at two main mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, marked with a D under the date. Together, they produced over 10 billion pennies, which is why the coin itself isn't scarce. However, with such massive production numbers, the chances for mistakes naturally increased, and a number of errors slipped into circulation. One of the most famous and sought-after error varieties from 1998 is the wide AM reverse variety. Most 1998 pennies feature the normal close AM reverse, where the letters A and M in America are close together and almost touching at the base. But a small number of 1998 cents were mistakenly struck using a proof reverse die intended for San Francisco proof coins. On these coins, the A and M are clearly separated, showing a noticeable gap. This is what collectors call the wide AM variety. The 1998 wide AM cent is extremely valuable compared to regular 1998 pennies. In circulated grades, they can sell for $100 to $300 depending on condition. In uncirculated grades, they can reach $1,000 or more. A few examples graded MS67 Red by PCGS or NGC have sold at auction for several $1,000s, making this variety one of the most famous and desirable modern penny errors. Another class of errors seen on 1998 Lincoln cents are double dies. Doubling happens when the hub impresses the design onto the die more than once in slightly different positions. On 1998 cents, some double dies can be spotted in areas like Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date. Strong double die examples are highly collectible and can bring $50 to $300 in circulated grades, and much more in high uncirculated grades. There are also examples of off-center strikes for 1998 cents. These occur when the coin blank is not seated correctly in the collar during striking, and the design is shifted off-center. A slight off-center strike of around 5 to 10% might only be worth $20 to $40, but dramatic examples with 50% or more off-center, especially if the date is still visible, can sell for $200 or higher. Clipped planchet errors are another fascinating mistake found among 1998 pennies. These occur when the blank was punched too close to the edge of the metal strip, resulting in a coin with a curved clip taken out of its edge. These can range in value from $25 to over $100 depending on the size and visibility of the clip. Some 1998 Lincoln cents were also struck on the wrong planchet. These are extremely rare, but when they occur, they are among the most valuable error types. For example, a 1998 cent struck on a dime planchet would appear smaller and thinner, and the design would be cut off. Such errors can easily sell for several $1,000s at auction. Another noteworthy error for the 1998 Lincoln cent involves die breaks and cuds. Over time, minting dies can crack, and when they do, they leave raised lines or blobs of extra metal on the coin's surface. Large die breaks near the rim can result in what collectors call a cud. These errors are unique, with each coin showing a slightly different break pattern, and they can be valued anywhere from $20 to $200 depending on size and eye appeal. While errors capture the most attention, even standard 1998 Lincoln cents in top condition can bring strong prices. Most circulated examples are worth only face value, but coins graded MS-67 red or higher are scarce and can sell for hundreds of dollars. A few examples have even crossed into the $1,000 range when sold at major auctions. Proof coins from 1998, struck at the San Francisco Mint, are also collectible. With their mirror-like finishes and frosted details, they're popular among collectors, though most proof 1998 cents are worth $5 to $20 unless they display dramatic errors or extremely high grades. Auction records help highlight the true potential of the 1998 penny. One wide AM cent graded MS-67 red sold for over $2,000 at auction, proving just how desirable this variety is. Off-center strikes with visible dates have sold in the $200 to $400 range. Doubled die examples in gem condition have topped $500. Wrong planchet errors have even soared past $5,000, showing that under the right circumstances, a 1998 penny can be worth more than most people would ever imagine. What makes the 1998 Lincoln cent so fascinating is that it represents a modern coin still in circulation today. This means the possibility of finding one is real. Collectors, roll hunters, and even casual change checkers could stumble upon a valuable error variety. The thrill of discovery is what keeps so many people interested in the Lincoln cent series, and the 1998 errors add another layer of excitement. So while most 1998 pennies will forever remain just 1 cent, a select few, like the wide AM variety, dramatic off-centers, double dies, and wrong planchet errors, have proven that even the smallest coins can carry enormous value. For anyone interested in coin collecting, the lesson here is simple. Never overlook your change. That 1 penny from 1998 could, under the right circumstances, be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, making it a true hidden gem of modern U.S. coinage. The 2004 Lincoln cent is one of those coins that millions of people handled every single day without giving it a second thought. A penny tossed in a drawer, slid across a convenience store counter, or dropped into a change jar usually carries little importance to most people. But in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest denomination can hold stories of history, artistry, and in some cases, shocking value. While the 2004 penny might seem modern and common, because the United States Mint struck billions of them, hidden within that mintage are error coins that have transformed these little copper-plated zinc pieces into collectibles worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. These errors capture the imagination of collectors and prove once again that sometimes the most overlooked coin in your pocket can hold a treasure if you know what to look for. To understand why the 2004 penny matters, you have to first look at the history of the Lincoln cent. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than a symbolic figure. The original wheat penny design by Victor David Brenner lasted until 1958, after which it was replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This memorial reverse remained in place until 2008, meaning that the 2004 penny belongs to that long-running era where the front bore Lincoln's profile and the back displayed the famous Washington, D.C. monument in 2004. The U.S. Mint struck pennies in enormous numbers, producing billions between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark, while Denver coins were marked with a D. Proof versions were also struck in San Francisco with the S mint mark. The coin itself was composed of copper-plated zinc, a composition that had been in place since 1982 when rising copper prices forced the mint to abandon the earlier 95% copper alloy. This copper plating is thin, just a fraction of the coin's total weight, and it's one of the reasons why modern pennies often experience dramatic-looking errors. What makes 2004 pennies particularly interesting to collectors are the mint errors. These are mistakes that occur during the coin's production process, and while most flawed coins are caught by the mint's quality control, some slip through. These survivors become prized rarities. Off-center strikes are one of the most recognizable errors on 2004 pennies. Imagine a coin where Lincoln's portrait is shifted so far to one side that part of the blank planchet shows. A minor off-center strike of 5 to 10% might sell for $30 to $50, but when the strike is more dramatic, say 40% to 60% off-center while still showing the date, values can soar to $150 or more. Another dramatic error seen on 2004 pennies is the broad strike. When the collar die fails during striking, the coin spreads outward, appearing wider and flatter than normal. These coins lack the raised rim and look almost like they were squashed. Collectors love this type of error because it's visually obvious and needs no magnifying glass to appreciate. A 2004 penny with a strong broad strike can fetch anywhere from $40 to $100, depending on its condition. Double strikes are another exciting class of errors. These occur when a coin is struck twice, often with the second strike offset from the first. On a 2004 penny, this could create an image where Lincoln's profile appears doubled or Monticello looks distorted. Such coins are instantly noticeable and highly collectible. Prices can vary widely, but a bold double-struck 2004 penny has sold for $200 to $400 at auction. Then there are die errors, such as die cracks and cuds. A cud occurs when a piece of the die breaks away, leaving a raised blob of metal on the coin where the design should be. These flaws are unique to each die, making every cud error essentially a one-of-a-kind collectible. A 2004 penny with a dramatic cud could easily sell for $50 to $200 depending on size and location. Die cracks, though more minor, can still attract collectors, especially when they create dramatic lines across Lincoln's face or the memorial building point. One of the most fascinating types of 2004 penny errors involves plating issues. Because the coin is made from zinc with a thin copper coating, errors can occur when the plating process goes wrong. Sometimes the copper layer bubbles, creating raised blisters on the surface. Other times, parts of the plating flake away, exposing the silver-colored zinc beneath. These errors are dramatic to the eye and highly collectible. Values vary depending on severity, but a penny with widespread plating issues can command $50 to $150 or more. Perhaps the most valuable 2004 penny errors are those struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a penny struck on a dime or foreign coin blank. These rare occurrences create coins that are smaller, lighter, or even a completely different color. For example, a 2004 penny struck on a dime planchet would be silver in appearance and lighter in weight, instantly catching the eye. Such errors are extremely scarce and can fetch between $1,000 and $2,500 at major auctions, depending on condition and visibility of the date. Auction records confirm the excitement collectors feel for these errors. A 2004 penny struck 40% off-center with the full date visible realized nearly $150 at auction. Another example struck on a dime planchet sold for more than $1,500 in a Heritage Auctions event, proving how valuable these mistakes can become when authenticated and graded. Even smaller errors like minor broad strikes or cuds have sold for $50 to $100, showing that collectors are eager to pay premiums for unusual pieces from this otherwise common year. Even without errors, condition plays a huge role in value. A 2004 penny found in circulation is almost always worth just face value, but uncirculated examples graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can command $25 to $50 due to the difficulty of finding perfect coins in mass production. Proofs from San Francisco with deep cameo surfaces are also popular. While most sell for under $20, perfect PR70 examples can bring $100 or more. The lesson of the 2004 Lincoln cent is that value hides in the details. Billions of these coins were struck, and nearly all of them remain worth only a cent. But for the careful collector who examines each coin, treasures can be found. Whether it's a dramatically off-center strike, a bold double strike, a missing plating error, or a rare wrong planchet piece, the 2004 penny proves that even modern coins can carry stories of rarity and surprise. So the next time you come across a jar of pennies or receive one in change at the store, take a closer look. Flip it over. Study Lincoln's profile. Examine the lettering. Look for unusual shapes, off-center strikes, or odd coloring. You might just be holding a coin that collectors dream of, an error coin worth far more than 1 cent. The thrill of discovering a hidden treasure like this is what keeps collectors searching, and the 2004 penny is a perfect example of how even the humblest coin can become a gateway to excitement, history, and value far beyond its denomination.